Thank you for tuning in to the annual Crusade for Children Endowment Special.
Your donations ensure millions of children will be helped for decades to come.
Join us in building the future.
And I'm Shay McAllister.
What about our Boogie Down crew? Yeah! Welcome to the annual Building the Future special to support the WHAS Crusade for Children Endowment. The endowment, of course, is crucial to keeping the crusade moving forward and making sure 100% of your telethon donations go to changing the lives of children with special needs. As you can tell, everybody's very excited about the show.
That's right, Terry. We're here with our friends at Down Syndrome of Louisville to bring in those donations for the endowment. We're also going to be talking about a very special anniversary. But first, let's talk about how you can support the endowment. You can donate anytime during this show using one of the apps at the bottom of your screen. You can also scan that QR code. You can always go to our website at WHAScrusade.org. If you want to give by phone, call 502-582-7706 and leave a message. Someone at the WHAS Crusade for Children will get right back to you. During the show, we're going to hear the best ways of building the future while you are living or afterlife legacy donations through a will. Families just like yours will tell their personal stories of supporting the endowment. We'll also look at traditional and the most current online ways to support the crusade. And of course, we'll hear more from families and organizations that have benefited directly from the Crusade for Children.
You know that your donations to the endowment are the key to ensuring that the crusade thrives every year. It's so important. Speaking of thriving, Shay, guess which longest-running, most successful local telethon in America turns 70 years old in the year 2023?
I think I have a guess.
I'm going to let's say it together, shall we? The WHAS Crusade for Children. Well, there's no better way to celebrate our 70th birthday than to have our good friend Lonnie Walker return. He's put together a very special logo to commemorate this huge milestone. Lonnie, it's great to see you.
Thank you.
Tell me about your graphic design work in general.
Well, I've been a graphic designer since the 1980s. I create projects not only locally, nationally, and universally. The range is anywhere from logos to sporting equipment to uniforms, to print items, even I do video work.
But nothing touches your heart more than this Crusade for Children.
No, being a local, born and raised guy is really nice to be involved with such a big organization that gives so much to the kids and the community. And being a small part of that makes me feel pretty good when I know there's a lot of people involved, and I take pride in that. Again, been doing it since 2012. Consistently, so
we're getting ready to show off your handiwork. We have a little help from our friends Emily and Jill and Dawn over here.
Okay.
Are you ready for the unveiling?
Yes,
Can we
we
count back
are.
from 3? Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Oh my goodness, that is absolutely amazing. Lonnie, you've outdone yourself. This is just incredible. What was the inspiration here?
Well, this year's theme is We Have All Shared. If you notice, the beginning initials to the whole theme is WHAS. So I thought, if we've all shared, what would be a better image than some caring hands? And the caring hands can represent everyone in the community, everyone from firefighters, police, WHAS, the community in general, and everyone that helps out. And I think it really tied together very well, not only the old logo, but being a new logo, which again, we try to incorporate every year to be something a little bit different for an event logo.
You did fantastic. I mean, you did just that.
Beautiful sentiment. Caring hands. Nice work, Lonnie.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That is really well done, Lonnie. Thank you so much. Well, the WHAS Crusade for Children's been helping change the lives of children for 70 years. And not just in the Louisville area, but all over the state of Kentucky, even southern Indiana, lives like little Julian Mackey of Lexington.
It's just a really special program they have going on here.
2 flashlights and a tool set? You guys said you had fun today. You did not want to escape.
All right, now show him how you turn it around to make a donut.
She's the reason that we're here today. She has been given a diagnosis of cerebral palsy, and that's resulted in like a left-sided weakness. My name is Caitlin Mackey.
And I'm Alex Mackey.
And our daughter is Julianne Mackey.
Yeah, and remember you gotta hold this up like a pair of pants. I'm Angela Folchek, and I'm Therapy Director at Child Development Center of the Bluegrass, and then I'm also the Supervisor for UK Pediatric Therapies at the Child Development Center of the Bluegrass.
And that I'm really smart.
We work to support children who need extra support in the classroom for a really inclusive learning experience.
How do you get the cow out of there?
And then for our therapy department, we work with children as young as 1 to 2 weeks through our outpatient programs. Julianne is a 3-year-old. She's pretty fantastic. I am a little biased though. And we're gonna walk in slow. And swing! She's really working on strengthening that left side, and so we have a lot of focus on reaching and grasp. Reach with that left hand, there you go.
Our first reaction to finding out a diagnosis like that, there's a lot of concern. Obviously, you're scared, you're confused, you have lots of questions.
And let's put that one in.
Finding a center like this has been such a blessing for us.
Making that lefty strong. Nice job, big girl.
Everyone is
Good job, sister. Yes.
working together to make sure that her needs are met.
I am so proud of you, Julianne.
It's just been such an ease of mind as us for parents.
I grew up in the south end of Louisville, and so when you say Crusade for Children, I think yellow fire trucks at every major intersection. Knowing that a place like the Child Development Center is the one that's getting that loose change or those dollar bills that are thrown into those fire boots is a really cool thing to know, especially now that it's affecting our daughter in such a great way.
She is so tricky. You can do it. And the reality is, to run a program, there's a cost, and you have to be very responsible with your spending, especially as part of a nonprofit. And so that is where the WHAS Crusade for Children has been such a valuable relationship. I don't feel like we would be able to offer a lot of the programs that we have here at the Child Development Center without the funding from WHAS Crusade for Children.
At the end of the day, giving to the Crusade, I think truly, the impact is unbelievable. The money that you give truly will leave a lasting impact on all of the children that it reaches.
It's just a remarkable organization that we're excited to benefit from.
And we're grateful for it.
There's no better time than now for you to be part of the WHAS Crusade for Children to build the future.
My friend is just keep donating, please.
You betcha. Thank you, Emily. Appreciate that. Send your year-end donation to 520 West Chestnut Street, Louisville, Kentucky, 40202, or give online at WHAScrusade.org. That's WHAScrusade.org. Love the energy in this room. Here's the president and CEO of the WHAS Crusade for Children, Dawn Lee. How excited are you about this fantastic new 70th logo?
I am so excited about Crusade 70, and I think Lonnie really hit a home run here for us this year, because I think the hands speak so loudly for what the Crusade is all about. And certainly giving and receiving. But we were talking in the office earlier about how it's also kind of holding too. And we like to think of ourselves as a little bit of a safety net for our Crusade kids and families. And I think that works so well with the endowment. So it's a perfect time to unveil it, because the endowment is our safety net and our way to continue to have the Crusade 70 more years.
Yeah, the hands, the closed hands sort of illustrate that, right, Shay?
Yeah, Don, we've got to ask, so why is the endowment so important for the life of the Crusade?
Well, I think the endowment is important because it is what allows us to give back 100% of donations collected to the kids. And we are able to do that because the endowment covers expenses like operations and overhead, are the supplies that we need, and then we're able to give back. And the past couple of years have been super special because not only has the endowment been able to cover those costs, it's also been an important part of the tote board total.
And we know that the endowment can really make a difference when things are difficult. Tell us about that and then some of the best ways for people to get involved and donate.
Well, COVID certainly hit us all hard, and so the pandemic changed the ways our firefighters had to collect. And so we got to see that firsthand. The endowment really stepped up to help us help as many kids as we possibly could. And we saw our donors giving to the endowment in all different kinds of ways, through stocks, required minimum distributions, their IRAs, perhaps a life insurance policy, or they named us in their will or in a special bequest. And so we have seen so many interesting ways that people find to give back, and that's going to help make sure that we're around for a long time.
Thanks for the hard work throughout the whole year, Dawn. We appreciate you for sure. You know, wills are such a very important part of building the future, what we're doing here for the endowment. And no one knows that better than our good friend and former Crusade CEO, Rebecca Jackson. So here's her family's story of love and mercy.
We remember the very first crusade in 1954. I was 4 or 5 years old. My parents pledged $25. We had the only television in the whole family, and so we all sat there and listened and listened and listened until they said, Mr. and Mrs. J.T. Day have pledged $25, and we cheered and we got up and jumped around, and it was very special because we were helping children who needed help, and that was something that my parents stressed to us, that we needed to help others who were less fortunate, and they were as good as their word. My name is Rebecca Jackson, and my connection to the Crusade goes back to my childhood, to my college days, and then I actually was privileged to work there for quite a while.
Is that it? Here we go.
This is it.
Why don't we read it together? $5,013,953.
My mom grew up in Louisville. My dad grew up on a farm in Grayson County, and they never forgot where they came from. They loved God, they loved family, and they wanted to serve. And they instilled in all of us, the children, the grandchildren, and even the great-grandchildren, that it is important for us to take the gifts we have been given by God and share them with others. You know, Mom and Dad love the Crusade, and even though they are now both gone, they still made a plan in their will to make sure that the Crusade would be able to continue. The way they did that was they made sure that 10% of some of their best investments was given to the Crusade in their will. Their portion of what went to the endowment is a legacy that will continue to provide for future generations. We don't know what tomorrow brings. And so you need to act now, making sure that you have provided for the Crusade in the future. And the best way to do that is to make the Crusade a beneficiary of not only your will, but any investments you have, just like my mom and dad.
The Crusade Endowment is extremely grateful for all of the donors who remember the Crusade for Children in their wills. Now we honor all of those donors in memoriam. We are very grateful for the gift of $10,000 from a very generous anonymous donor.
James Andy Anderson. Andy was a lifelong farmer, a U.S. Army veteran, and a member of the Bardstown Army Reserve. He served many years as a volunteer fireman for the Nelson County Volunteer Fire Department with his good friend Chief Arch Pendergrass. He chose to leave his IRA to the Crusade for Children, a donation totaling $80,000.
Herbert Buchart. Herb was a Louisvillian who chose the Crusade for Children as the beneficiary of his IRA. His donation of $132,015 will help change the lives of so many children.
Barbara Christine. Barbara was a retiree from the Louisville Free Public Library and a member of the Louisville Stamp Club. Barbara also loved the Crusade for Children. She made sure one of her last gifts was through a charitable remainder trust to the Crusade. We thank Barbara for her donation of $49,839.48.
Paula Keene. Paula was raised in Shively. She loved U of L, her pets, and the Crusade for Children. She left the Crusade a gift of stocks totaling $34,402.96.
Betty J. Frank. Betty was a retiree of the Courier-Journal and lived to be 93. She chose to name 7 beneficiaries for the residue of her estate. The WHAS Crusade for Children is honored to be one of those beneficiaries, receiving $9,378.54 toward building the future.
Anna Mae Gwen. Anna was the longtime owner and operator of Petite Beauty Salon. She was 93 years old when she passed and left the Crusade the residue of her estate, totaling $1,791.97.
Barbara G. Hawkins. Barbara retired from Jefferson County Public Schools and lived to be 95. Thanks to her generosity, the Crusade received $5,800 as a beneficiary of her trust.
Percy L. Lindsay. Percy generously left his home to the Crusade for Children when he passed away. Percy's donation gave the Crusade Endowment an additional $36,000.
Ken and Elizabeth McDermott. Ken and Elizabeth were longtime members of St. Agnes Catholic Church. Ken passed in 2018, and Elizabeth followed just 5 months later. Prior to death, they worked together on their wills and chose to leave a designated amount of $1,000 to the Crusade.
Opa Lena Peace. Lena retired from the Post Exchange in Fort Knox and lived to be 94 years old. She was extremely generous and named numerous organizations as beneficiaries in her will. The Crusade is very grateful to be one of them by receiving $5,000.
Joyce and Arthur Philpott. Arthur passed away in 2019, and Joyce followed just 6 months later. They have a daughter helped by the Crusade and wanted to return the support monetarily. They stated in their will that they wanted their home to be sold and that the proceeds go to the Crusade for Children. Their legacy contribution of $36,522.41 from the house sale helps ensure the stability of the Crusade for years to come.
Jack S. Rowland. Jack, a Salem, Indiana resident, lived to be 93 years old. He made sure that the Crusade was named as a specific bequest in his estate planning. As a result, he left the Crusade for Children $29,372.76.
Charles Rucker. Charles, also known as Popsicle, served in the U.S. Army and was a Vietnam War veteran. He retired from General Electric and resided in Pleasureville, Kentucky. Charles made sure that the Crusade for Children was named as the remainder beneficiary in his will, and the total contribution from Charles is $115,582.48.
Richard A. Smithson. Richard spent much of his life in education. He taught in Bowling Green, was the principal at Harlan County High School, and eventually retired from Jefferson County Public Schools. Richard took the steps before he died to make sure that the Crusade was one of several organizations to receive a portion of his estate. The Crusade Endowment is grateful for his legacy gift of $572,566.09. You can be part of building the future by mailing in your end-of-year donation check. The best way to do that is sending it right to 520 West Chestnut Street, Louisville, Kentucky, 40202. You can also give online to WHAScrusade.org. That's WHAScrusade.org. If you want to give by phone, leave a message and someone at the WHAS Crusade for Children will get back to you. Call 582-7706. That's 582-7706. With the ease of doing so much online these days, there are several more creative ways of giving. Here's the Crusade Director of Philanthropy, Heather Benson, with a look at some of the easy ways to give using your smart devices.
Technology has made supporting the WHAS Crusade for Children easier than ever. Donate online safely and securely by visiting WHAScrusade.org. You can donate from your smartphone through a popular money-sharing app such as Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal. You can even credit your fire department in the comments section, just like you can when you donate online. If you own an Alexa device, tell it that you would like to donate to the Crusade for Children. The donation will deduct from the card you have on file with your Amazon account. Finally, as you do your holiday shopping, don't forget to designate the Crusade as your charity of choice on Amazon Smile and Kroger Community Rewards. A percentage of your purchases will be donated back to the kids. Today, the Crusade has received nearly $25,000 from shoppers just like you through their Amazon and Kroger purchases.
This year, the WHAS Crusade for Children reached a huge milestone. We finished with just over $5.1 million raised for children with special needs, of course. And since the beginning, 100% of the money raised during the telethon has gone to the kids, and that continues to this very day. So here's another example of how your donations are changing a child's life every single day.
Good morning, Samir.
Doctors don't know exactly how it happened, but as far as we know, yes, he was born with it.
All right, we're headed into the hallway.
We kind of noticed in the hospital that he had like a little redness around his eye. They said it was probably just stress from childbirth. And then of course, when we were at home, we were tracking his milestones and noticed that there was a little clouding in where his pupil would be at. He has a visual impairment, PHPV, that's persistent hyperplastic primary vitreous, which means he's legally blind.
Good morning, Zamir. How are you today?
My name is Erica Rogers. My son Zamir, he's a student here at VIPS. Without VIPS, we probably have been lost.
All right, Visually Impaired Preschool Services serves children birth to 5 all across Kentucky and Indiana.
They've got lines down there.
To help the children and their families develop independence, develop the advocacy skills they need to be able to speak up for themselves.
6, good.
My name is Stacey Maynard, and one of my jobs here at VIP,
They look left and right,
is to teach one of our preschool classes. So this is a very rewarding job and a very fun job.
I love the staff here.
Hi, Zamir. Zamir is a sweetheart.
Do you need a hug?
He's done a wonderful job.
Z-Y-H-M-I-R.
Right now, I'm just trying to get him kind of acclimated to the Braille writer. Sometimes he'll spend some time pushing the keys himself, which we call scribbling. It's be the equivalent of a child who's learning to write, kind of scribbling on their paper.
Go play music. You ready? We'll say, music, please.
One of his favorite things to do during our free time is anything musical.
I knew you'd like to have this back.
We are working on having him explore the Braille that we are reading with him. Good morning to Brooks, how do you do? The donations provided by the Crusade for Children are essential to us being able to provide the types of services that we do.
Good morning, Zamir.
A lot of times they go toward the teacher salaries. It's also used, to get various equipment that we need. Can you tell your friends good morning?
Good morning, friends.
Wonderful job.
Well, if it wasn't for the Crusade for Children, then VIPS wouldn't be able to provide resources for children like Zamir.
I am personally grateful for the Crusade, not only for VIPS, but just for all the things that I see them do for children.
If anybody is wondering if they should donate or if their donations count,
I want you to see if you can trace all the way around the worm.
I would say yes. I would say donate. I would say your donations change lives, and we are forever grateful for VIPS and the Crusade for Children.
I'm gonna let my
all around.
If you want to see more stories on how these donations go to work, just check out the social media content for the WHAS Crusade for Children on all the different platforms. Here's the Crusade for Children's marketing director, Deandra Jackson. She's got plenty more to tell you.
Hi, I want to invite you to follow us on all social media platforms. We're on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. Just search for WHAS Crusade for Children on any of these platforms and follow us for great content. There's always something new on our pages, including inspirational and uplifting videos and photos of children who have been helped by your donations to the WHAS Crusade for Children, as well as information on family-friendly events hosted by fire departments and other groups. Like and share our posts. And please tag us and use our hashtag, WHAS Crusade. Lastly, I want to remind Kentucky residents that you can take us on the road. Get your WHAS Crusade for Children license plate at your county clerk's office. Go to WHAScrusade.org to learn more about how you can change a child's life. 100% for the kids.
There are so many ways to donate and make a difference in a child's life through the WHAS Crusade for Children. Whether it's through wills, stocks, IRAs, or dropping money in a firefighter's boot, you can be assured that 100% of your donations go directly to schools, hospitals, and agencies that help children.
And one of those agencies is our host for this show. That's the Down Syndrome of Louisville. They have been a Crusade grant recipient for several years because of all of the tremendous work they do for people with Down syndrome. Joining us now, Julie Torzeski. Tell us a little bit about the mission and vision right here in this facility.
Absolutely. We are here to support, educate, and advocate for individuals with Down syndrome so they can reach their full potential. And the Crusade for Children has their fingerprints all over that, all over the success of all of these members here today, because they help to fund our early intervention development, our school-age camps in the summer, all those things that bring them to where they are today as adults and huge, important members of our community.
And how important is the Crusade money to actually making all that happen?
Yes, they help us fund our summer camp and our early intervention for our young ones. So that's really important because they may not meet their goals at the same time as all of their peers, but they're going to meet them, and we just get them there on their own time. And so that takes a lot of therapy, a lot of one-on-one time, a lot of behavior, a lot of working on IEP, school goals, all those things that we just need a little more help with to get to meet our goals.
Well, you have an absolutely beautiful facility here. Thank you so much for welcoming us in today, and thank you to the Boogie Down crew.
Hey, we love this energy and the momentum going into the Crusade for Children's 70th year of helping children and building a future for generations to come. Alongside Shay McAllister, I'm Terry Miners. We sure appreciate you checking in with us here. Thanks for helping the countless children all through these past 70 years. We thank each and every one of you for your generosity and kindness. Thank you again for watching and helping to build a financially secure future for our children with special needs. Good night, everybody.